I would like to remind everyone to please make sure that all cell phones are turned to the off or vibrate position. Also, please be advised our city council meetings are broadcast on Comcast Channel 99, AT&T U-verse, and the City of Gadsden YouTube channel. This meeting of the Gadsden City Council will now come to order. The chair calls on City Clerk Ivan Nelson for the roll call.
Councilwoman Latham. Present. Councilman Smith. Here. Councilman Avery.
Here.
Councilman Back.
Here.
Councilman Wilson.
Here.
Councilwoman Minatra.
Here.
And Councilman Robinson.
Here.
We have a quorum present and our meeting is open for business. I'm going to ask Brian Harbison to lead the invocation. Please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Will you pray with me? Almighty God, we thank you today for the magnificent freedom to gather. We thank you for all those who are here in attendance for whatever reason. God, we thank you for those who are standing up front. We thank you for our mayor, his staff. We thank you for the sacrifice that they're making. We thank you for these council representatives who are here because their community asked them to stand for them. And God, we stand before you today. We're imperfect, but we serve a perfect God, and we ask that you will direct us and guide us in the days ahead. Thank you for the excitement that is taking place outside these walls, and we'll give you the praise for that. And again, we just ask your blessings on this meeting in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the work session and city council meeting held on January 24th.
So moved.
Second. Councilman Smith made the second. All right, clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to approve minutes.
The chair will entertain a motion to ratify payment of accounts for the week of January 20th through January 26th.
So moved. Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to ratify payment of the accounts.
Item number 7 on our agenda is proclamations and commendations. Mayor Ford, I know you have some of those.
And before I start this, if I could ask Lee Roberts and Mr. Councilman Back to come up here. And if anyone else knows the Newman family, they're a personal friend of ours, but if the Newman family would please join us. Come on, Lady Jane. Yes, ma'am. What's that? So, members of the council and the audience, this is a proclamation from the city of Gadsden, Alabama. Whereas Dr. Lucian Newman Jr. was born on February 14, 1937 in Dadeville, Alabama, and spent his early life there. He became a resident of Gadsden and passed away from this life on January 11, 2023. And whereas Dr. Newman began his surgery practice in Gadsden in 1968 and considered taking care of his patients as his greatest honor and privilege, showing great love, compassion, and kindness to them, and was admired by many for his bedside manner. Medicine was not just a job, but a life for Lucian until his retirement in 2020 after 52 years of practice. And whereas Dr. Newman's contributions to the medical community were numerous, he served as chief of staff at both local hospitals, was a fellow and president of the Alabama chapter of the American College of Surgeons, and president of the Caduceus? I knew that. I was just checking y'all. Caduceus Club, the University of Alabama Medical School's alumni service organization, He also served on the medical board of Pro Assurance for over 20 years and was named Medical Director of Life Insurance Company of Alabama in 2007. And whereas Dr. Newman founded the EMS paramedic program at the junior college, now Gadsden State Community College, and trained many first responders. The annual Outstanding Paramedic Student Award is named in his honor. And whereas Dr. Newman demonstrated his faith in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and was a dedicated member of First Baptist Church from 1968 and served as deacon. He served on the board of directors at Westminster Christian School, now Westbrook, and chaired the board in 1986. He was a patron and sponsor of the arts and outdoor groups, whereas Dr. Newman was a loving and dedicated husband, father, and grandfather, and was an outstanding role model to all who knew him. He enjoyed many activities, holidays, and occasions with family and friends, and was a passionate fan of Alabama football. Now, therefore, I, Craig Ford, Mayor of Gadsden, Alabama, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, February 14th, 2023, Dr. Lucian Newman Jr. Day. I'm going to we call her Lady Jane for the record. But she helped, I don't know if she wants to claim it, but she was partly helping raising us and all of us up here. But Miss Newman, when we lose Dr. Newman, he is a pillar of the community. And I mean that sincerely, and you can't say that about everybody, but Dr. Newman operated on me, my father, my grandparents, my mother, and just about everybody else that I know. And if I probably asked everybody to stand in the room, we'd be violating HIPAA. But I bet probably 20 to 30, 40% of you in here has had some touch or occasion with Dr. Newman. He was always, and sometimes physicians, no offense to you, Charlie and little Lucian, but sometimes they get accused of having bad bedside manner. He was the same as he was 24/7 a day, just the nicest gentleman of a person. And Miss Newman, he was only successful because of you and the backbone of him, and we know y'all demonstrated what a marriage is supposed to be about and how to live a Christian life, and you've raised wonderful children. And also, Charles asked me to mention him. So Charles is a friend of my son, but we love Charles. But I want to thank you and to the whole family. Thank y'all for this day. And if you'd like to say something, please.
Let me get a picture before we
Okay.
bring the proclamation up front. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2.
Well, I can say I had the best husband in the world. It was a Camelot marriage from day one. We had one date, and then that was it. And he's the sweetest man that I've ever known. And he was gone all the time. That was the only thing. I thought, well, we get out of med school, and I'll see him. That didn't happen because in 1985, the American College of Surgeons appointed different people to start the EMT programs. So he was gone constantly, starting those programs and doing other things that he was so interested in. And I thank all of y'all that supported him, and I'm so proud of this proclamation and honor being here. Thank you.
Would it? Dr. Newman, anybody else? Dr. Newman? Come on.
We've always treasured being from Gadsden, Alabama, and my dad was an ambassador for this city, and I and Charlie, I think, have continued that, and we really love our town. So thank y'all.
As a representative of District 4, Newman families in my district, and I'm been a recipient of the love of Dr. Newman. He operated on our son Alan at about age 2 when he had a hernia. It's difficult to give your 2-year-old to be operated on to anybody, but when I handed him over to Dr. Newman, and I get choked up thinking about it, I had all the confidence in the world that Alan would come right back and be well, and of course he was. And so we love you guys, love your family. Y'all are a pillar of the community, have been for decades and for decades to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, I will say this. I'm from Mobile, Alabama, and everybody says, how in the world can you stand living in Gadsden? And, you know, because I grew up in Arkansas City, and I saw the neighbors didn't know the city. Someplace to live.
I'll tell you, before I read this next one, I was walking around the neighborhood. I don't walk much, but going around the neighborhood, you see little Dr. Charlie Newman walking around with a weight pack on his back. And then little Lucian, I got him to play golf with us one time when I was in the legislature, Speaker of the House, and we took one shot of mine, and he's a scratch golfer. So they're good people to know at certain times. This is another commendation, Miss Councilman Manatra. This is in her district, and I want to tell you this. I've enjoyed the Ritz Theater or something, and this is about the Ritz Theater and some of the awards that they have won. I love the Ritz Theater, maybe because I'm not such an actor or, you know, I can't perform, but I love seeing y'all perform. And one of my favorite performance was the Johnny Cash. I'm not sure what the name of that, what was the name of that? Ring of Fire. There you go. And but I just loved it. I thought it was fantastic. So we, Councilman Manatra and myself, wanted to present this to y'all on January 19th, 2023. The winners of the 2022 Broadway World Birmingham Awards were announced at the Theater of Gadsden. Was well presented. Theater of Gadsden won and best awards, as well as 4 runner-up awards totaling 11 out of 20 categories among several other theater groups. These theater groups include Alabama Shakespeare Festival, UAB Theater, University of Montevallo, Jefferson Academy of Theater and Dance, Opera Birmingham, Red Mountain Theater, and Birmingham Black Repertory Theater Collective, just to name a few. This year's awards honor the best regional productions, touring shows, and more, with first performances between October 1st, 2021 through September 30th, 2022. The best of the best awards went to the following Theater of Gadsden members or shows in 8 out of 20 categories. And when we call your name, if you would please come up here. Best Direction of a Musical, Mike Beecham, Big River. Has a brother named Stace. Best Ensemble Performance, The Cast, A Ring of Fire, the music of Johnny Cash. Best Theater for Young Audience Production, Joy Tillery Perryman, Junie B. Jones, Jingle Bells, and Batman Smells. Best Costume Design of a Play or Musical, Hillary Cunningham, Big River. Best Music Direction and Orchestra Performance, Billy Jenkins. Ring of Fire, Billy Jenkins, where'd I go? Wait a minute. Billy Jenkins, Ring of Fire, the music of Johnny Cash. Best Scenic Design of a Play or Musical, Kendall Stovall and Joe Cannon, Big River. Best Sound Design of a Play or Musical, Wayne Cornutt, Ring of Fire, the music of Johnny Cash. Best Lighting Design of a Play of a Musical, Cassie Cunningham, Big River. Cassie here. On behalf of the City of Gadsden, we'd like to congratulate all of you for your marvelous work and awards. We'd also like to thank you for all the Theater of Gadsden for the many years contributed to the arts and to the City of Gadsden. We're proud of what you have done to foster a thriving arts and culture community in Gadsden. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this. They have plays, and Councilman Manatra is going to announce the dates at their upcoming plays. But I hope that we support them. Without our support, they can't perform. But they are excellent at what they do. For us to have this in Gadsden, Alabama is a true asset to our arts and our entertainment district. If everybody talks about when they run for office, we want to increase our arts. If you want to increase our arts program, support these people. Okay, thank you. And I'm going to turn it over to Councilwoman.
Thank you. Yes, we need support, and these performers and directors and all of the support staff do an incredible job. So here's what is in the future. So Godspell will be March 10th through 19th. Looking for a City, April 21 through 23rd. Schoolhouse Rock Live, May 5th through 7th. All at the Ritz Theater in Alabama City. Thank you.
Rose. Three of them.
They're gonna have to cheerleader.
All right, count of three. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Thank y'all.
Thank y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, this last one, we've waited 34 years. Could I ask Julie Payne to come up here? Carrie, you come on too. You turn it red. So today's his retirement ceremony at 1 o'clock, and he's handing out autographed pictures, if you're interested. Mr. Kerry Payne has devoted over 34 years of his service to the city of Gadsden. He began working for the city in 1981 in Parks and Rec, which continued every summer through 1987. Kerry became a full-time employee in 1987 as a facility manager. During his time with the city, he has worn many hats in different departments. Some of these positions include building department as an environmental inspector, community developer as a project coordinator, Parks and Rec as an assistant director and then the director, transportation and assistant planning director, and his current and final role as the director of personnel. Kerry is a lifelong resident of Gadsden and graduated from Emma Sampson High School. From there, he obtained degrees from the University of Alabama in Jacksonville State. He's married to Dr. Julie Payne Kerry. Remember that? And they have children, Chris and Rebecca. Kerry has dedicated his life to loving, playing, and working for the city of Gadsden. After retirement, he will be volunteering his time to give back in various departments within the city. On behalf of the city of Gadsden, Kerry, we would like to applaud you for your years of service and your tireless efforts in making the city of Gadsden a better place. Thank you, Kerry. Microphone's yours.
Let's get a picture first. 1, 2. One more. 1, 2.
Kerry, you say you're up.
Really?
Yep, and then we're going to get a picture with the council up there.
Okay.
Lee and Heath.
All right. I could probably speak for an hour, but I'm going to make it short because I've worked for a bunch of good people, and I've worked for every mayor, council, form of government that the city of Gadsden's ever had, and I'm expecting y'all to take it to new heights. I've got to work with y'all 3 months with the Mayor Ford and the council, and I expect you to go high as you can. But I just want to recognize a few people that I worked for because that's why I'm here today. And I'm going to start, and hopefully don't leave anybody out, but I've worked for Howard Bone, Shirley Dubose, Jack Gaston, Giggy Ball, Skipper Watford, Jackie Harris, Pete Rary, Marion Wise, Jerry Alford, Sandy Battles, Brian Harbison, Nick Call, and then Jerry Gladden was the personnel director that hired me 34 years ago. So I've worked with a lot of good men, and they've kind of molded me into what where I'm at today. The Howard Bone story, I was a teenager, a young teenager, and seen him managing Walnut Park Gym, and he looked like he had the best time and enjoyed his job more than anybody I'd ever seen. Of course, I was up there all the time. So I thought that career might not be bad because he's happy. And I just want to say that I've been happy in every place that I've been, and I'm going to still stay here in Gadsden. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Can we get a picture with the council like we did last week with Miss Moffitt, please?
Sure. Oh, yeah.
So,
And that was a good picture.
It was.
come on. Junior. Dr. Payne.
All right. Here we go. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Oh, just a second. Let me put this down for y'all. There you go.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor Ford, and to all the folks that have been here today, the theater people and Newman family, and of course, the Payne family. Thank
Mayor?
you all so much.
Mayor, I think there's a couple of folks back there that didn't get an award. You sure that's all of them?
All right, item number 8 on our agenda is unfinished business. We have none today, so item 9. This is the time and place as advertised to conduct a public hearing, allowing anyone to speak in opposition to or in favor of a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property located at 2219 Forest Avenue, rear, in District 6, Virginia A. Goolsby being the last known owner. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Thank you, ma'am. If you'll just come to the podium, and when you get there, if you'll give us your name and your address for the record, please.
Yes, my name is Virginia Wilson Goolsby. The address is 31 Hall Street, Crossville, Alabama, 35962.
Okay. Thank you. So you're here to speak in opposition of the resolution of the.
Yes, we've had some slight problems. We hired a company to come in. They sent a letter, and we hired a company to come in. But my husband had they had to stop work when we had to send my husband down to Florida for some treatments. And I just got back this past Sunday. I got back Sunday morning at 1:15 to find this hearing. We do have a company that I've had 2 contractors come out yesterday, one and one today. One can, continue the work, and the original guy that we had working on it, he can continue the work, but they can't start the one guy can start in about 3 weeks. He said he'd be finished with the place in Rainbow City to finish it up. The other one can't start for about 3 months, and I don't want to wait 3 months. But I'm wondering if we can get an extension, if we can get even, a 3 months extension to have it finished.
Okay. Well, thank you for that information. The next is what we do. We hear from someone who's in favor, which would be Mr. Harbison from the building department. So let us hear his side, and then we'll have a discussion after that. Thank you. Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, I'm Brian Harbison with the Building Department. This case involves a garage apartment. We filed it in February of last year. There was a building permit taken out in June of last year. There have been no improvements. We're asking today for a resolution to abate the nuisance. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any discussion?
I would just like to ask a question. Ms. Goolsby, I understand that this is a garage apartment, and then you have a main house, and both of these structures are in need of repair. Am I correct?
The rear, the garage apartment.
So is your plan with the contractor that's available in 3 weeks, will you be starting with the main house, or will you be starting with the garage apartment?
No, he's going to do the garage, the rear, the garage apartment. There's nobody living in the garage apartment. Nobody ever has been living in the garage apartment. This was for the garage apartment. It wasn't for the main building. And
Okay.
then, they'll go on to the main, but right now they're just doing the garage apartment immediately.
Okay.
Mr. Harbison, this is how long would it take for your department to get around to making this abatement? Or any idea? 2 months, 4 months?
Once a resolution passes, then we order the utilities to be retired in preparation for the abatement. And then it goes on Public Works list, and I can't speak as to how long. As far as I know, there are probably 3 or 4 dozen houses that are on that list, so it could be next week or it could be 3 months.
And is the property owner allowed to go on the property once the resolution is approved?
Yeah, we would give them a permit if they wanted to remove it themselves. This is not something that we would invest taxpayer dollars to rehab, so our only option would be to remove it. We would allow them to do that.
So based upon your inspection, it's not salvageable?
It's not something we would spend money to rehab, no.
Okay, all right.
And Ms. Goolsby, you have one contractor that you said would be available in 3 weeks, and then the other contractor not for 3 months. So would you be willing to let us condemn today and you work with Mr. Harbison on the property, since you do have a building permit that's still in effect? Would that be suitable for you to work with Mr. Harbison on this?
Yes, but does that mean that they'll still tear it down?
Okay. Then,
No, ma'am, if you make the repairs and Mr. Harbison signs off on it, it would be back up to code.
right, you would just be in partnership with Mr. Harbison on this, since you've got 2 contractors with extended deadlines to work.
Okay. All right, any other questions? All right, then clerk, will you take the vote?
We don't have a motion.
Oh, there's no vote, that's right. What is the pleasure, I got ahead of myself. What is the pleasure of the council?
I move to abate.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 10 is our final public hearing, is a resolution approving alcoholic beverage license. Mutalabi Bukhari DBA Enterprises Liquor Store located at 310 West Meagan Boulevard, Suite C in District 3 has applied for a package store license. There is a recommendation from the police department for disapproval. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor? All right, the chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
Real quick. Chief, we spoke on this, right?
Yes, sir, we did.
Okay. I make a motion to proceed to adopt.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item 11 is a resolution authorizing acquisition of property off Airport Road. This authorizes the mayor to take action as may be required to lawfully obtain title to the property. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All right. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item 12 comes under first readings. This is an ordinance authorizing conveyance of property located on Stroud Avenue. Judaism for Humans Home Trust has offered to pay $349 for Lot 1 in Block G in the 1200 block of Stroud Avenue. This ordinance has been presented today for first reading, and the council will vote on it next week. Item 13 is another first reading for an ordinance authorizing conveyance of property located at 1704 McKinley Avenue. James and Charlotte Sperling have offered to pay $1,650 for the property. This ordinance has been presented today for the first reading, and the council will vote on it next week. Item 14 is new business. And I believe we have that.
I got it here. Mr. President, I'd like to ask that we suspend the rules and consider Resolution 2023-054, which is a one-year moratorium on certain new business licenses. This has been requested by the legal department and the planning department, I believe.
All right, so we have a motion to suspend the rules. Second. All right. Clerk, will you take the vote, please?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today as an item of new business, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
I make a motion to approve.
All right. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
I don't think there were any other new business items. Item 15 is department reports, committees, or boards. Josh Tanner, thank you for being here this morning.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on being named the interim director of the EMA. We appreciate your work.
I appreciate the trust of the administration and the council, and going to do my best to make everybody happy.
Certainly.
I wanted to quickly highlight a few things that we have going, which are positive things. The EMA moved back to City Hall is 95% complete. As I mentioned in staff meeting yesterday, we are selling commemorative T-shirts for the EMA Return to Home tour. The goal of everybody that's been involved with this has just amazed me at how fast, if everybody's on the same page, stuff can get done. It took us 2 years to move, and we are largely moved completely back in about 4 days. So we're very appreciative to all the other departments that have assisted us. We're in the process of also transferring some equipment to the police department, also some to the fire department that can be better utilized under their departments for training. And then also the fire department is going to be getting some hand sanitizer, a 55-gallon drum worth of it. In the midst of all the moving that we've had going on, we've also been working diligently on our required tasks from the state and federal levels, which includes updating our hazard mitigation plan, the emergency operations plan, and the continuity of operations plan for both the agency and the city. All of these are due for a complete review and revision this year, so we've also been doing that. As far as from an operational standpoint, once the move is complete and operations are reestablished here at City Hall, my goal is to start visiting municipalities in Etowah County. I want to try to grow and rebuild relationships, cultivate that effort, and get them to see why it's important to be on board with what Gadsden has going, because there is a palpable excitement in town, and that is a wonderful thing to see, because there for a while it was looking kind of dark and dreary. So we're very excited, and we want to be able to partner with others to let them get on board and be able to partner together so we can make the whole county a better and safer place. And with that, I'll be glad to answer any questions that you might have.
I don't have any questions. All right. Well, thank you, Josh. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Any other departments, committees, or boards? All right. If not, we'll move to item 16. We originally have 2 citizen requests to speak. Listed first is Regina Ford with the Etowah County Master Gardeners. She has requested to move that to February 14th. So Ms. Ford's not here today. So we will ask Kevin Blackwell with the SPAN program to provide us an update. Kevin, thank you for coming. You come every year. Thank you so much for what you and your team do.
Well, thank you for having me. Before I get up, I do want to introduce my staff. The students are thankful to have a virtual day today since we're not at the building. But I want you to see my staff. When I give you my numbers, I want to make a point to this. I have 2 counselors, Reggie and Justin. Here we go. I have 2 teachers, Holly and Davita. So I have a staff of 5. But what you don't see are janitors or office managers. 5 of us. That's it. That's all that we have. And I will by say this, 2017, we had 62 students come through our program. Our students are aged between 12 and 19. They come from the Gadsden City School System, the Etowah County School Systems, Atala, JPO office, and DHR. This year, 2022, we had 142. That's almost a double increase in 5 years. The need for our program has increased twofold. It's very difficult for us sometimes to try to keep up the number of kids that are coming through. We had 17 students come through just in January. If you know where we're located at the old General Forest Middle School. So we have 2 office spaces. Our hallway is our cafeteria. Our hallway is my advisory board meeting. There's a space right close to the boys' bathroom that is our group meeting for the kids to have group every day. We're limited, and we're appreciative of the building, but we're limited right now for the number of kids that are coming through. I can only have 20 kids in the classroom at a time. So now we have a waiting list of kids that have to wait 2 weeks, maybe 2.5 before they can come in. It's a good thing to have. It's good that we have kids waiting to get in, but sometimes waiting to get in for some of our population of kids is not good for them. If you get what I'm trying to say, I don't want a kid to be at home waiting to get into a program. And I'll give you an idea. We had 111 kids complete the program. Out of those 111, 63 returned back to their correct grade. 63 are back in their correct grade. If you know statistics, if a kid drops out or loses 1 grade, the odds of them dropping out of high school increase tremendously. So we put 63 back in their correct grade. 11 of them attained their GED. In the past 4.5 years, we've had 52 students obtain their GED. And again, I want you to realize it's me and 4 other people who are doing this. It's like a little band of superheroes that many people don't know about. This is the 41st year this program has been existing in Gadsden. 41. It was originally called City Program, but it changed in the span. So this is the 41st year we've been here. And I want to be very honest with you. I want to go through every single exit that we've had because I want to be transparent because we're in a building that y'all provided for us, and we are extremely thankful, very thankful that y'all have invested in the future of Gadsden because that's what these kids are. They're the next generation of kids, and if we don't step in to serve these kids, if somebody don't fill that gap, what are they going to do? We want productive citizens in Gadsden, correct? And that's what this program is trying to offer for every single student that comes through our program. Now, I'll go back. 63 went back to the right grade. 11 got their GED. We sent 11 students to Gadsden State for their adult classes. And a lot of the reasons for that is transportation, and some kids do work, so it's easy for them to go in the night school. We had 7 move out of the area. We exited 5 to a job. We had 4 that were moved. There was 4 brothers and sisters. DHR took them out of their house and had to relocate them somewhere else. 3 went to a trade school at Gadsden State. 3 DNCA, that means 3 of them just didn't make it the first 3 weeks. 2 we sent to the hired program. We had 1 young lady run away from home who was in foster care. So we do a lot with the kids that come through our program. And again, we're very helpful and thankful for what y'all have done for our program. However, if there's ever a discussion of extending the middle school, we would love to be the first people in line for any more space. And we're thankful Mr. Nichols, got to meet Mr. Nichols yesterday. He is going to provide us a gym because they're just down the road from us, so we'll be able to go and use their facilities soon. Again, thank y'all, and if you have any questions, I'd love to answer them.
Kevin, for the benefit of audience and also for 5 new council members, tell us just the SPAN program, that stand, and I can't remember the acronym.
It's Special Programming Achievement Network.
And how does the student get assigned to, or why are they assigned?
A counselor will call. A student either got real behind in school for whatever reason, or it could be a behavioral issue. Usually it's more of an academic now, but they just got behind. We serve kids out of state. I've got 3 kids from Florida who tried to enroll in the system here, but their credits are different in Florida to Alabama. So they'll send them to us to kind of redo their credits so they can re-enroll back in the public school system.
And your overall funding comes from?
The education side of the budget, but our money is located to DYS. DYS gives us our money, but we're not licensed by DYS. It's a very strange relationship that we have.
Interesting.
Because we're the opposite of what DYS would be doing.
Okay, I'm just trying to think of some questions that are that might be for first-timers may not know exactly, and y'all all may know about this program. I didn't really know about it until I got on the council.
Well,
Yes,
and the
ma'am.
reason I brought the counselors and the teachers up, because it is a dual partnership that we have. If I get a kid who's educationally ready for school but not behaviorally, then I failed them. If I got him behaviorally ready for school but not educationally, we failed them. So it's the counselors and teachers working together for each individual student to put them back in the right place where they can be successful.
And Kevin, this program started in Gadsden, right?
Yes.
And now is in
there's
place all over the state,
There's
correct?
6 other SPAN programs in Alabama.
And it all started right here in the Gadsden City School
here.
System.
This is the beginning of the SPAN program right here in Alabama.
That's fantastic.
That is a good point. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Mr.
Mayor?
President.
Yes, sir.
So, let me ask you this one, and you said the gym, Eddie Nichols, that's Breakaway Ministries
Yes.
that we supported. Y'all all know that, and we appreciate his support. But, so when I was campaigning, I think I showed up on the wrong date. And, y'all took me through a gym or cafeteria.
That's our old cafeteria that doesn't have anything in there, but at least we have something for the kids to go in, and kids got to have energy to run around.
But there was a plan, was there a plan?
So that gym does not have heating, cooling, nor
Power,
does it have a
anything.
sprinkler system.
Okay, was there a plan with the previous administration to do something with that at one time?
You know, I'm not sure. The last I remember, you were in the old Gadsden High School
sir.
building last time you came, so I was unaware that you had, or I forgot that you had
And
moved.
we've been at the old General Forest now for 3.5 years, I think
Okay.
now.
So I would encourage you to maybe get a plan for that room, that big gym or whatever it is, and maybe you do have a plan. It's in design or has been? You have a design. Do you have a cost estimate and all that kind of good stuff?
No, we're not that advanced. We're just poor counselors and teachers.
We're just poor mayor and council members. So, hey, Mr. President, could I ask one of the department heads, Heath and Brian, and y'all to please get together and get us something on paper as far as an estimate and what it would take to complete that room? No commitments, just need to see the figures.
That's all we ask.
Okay, thank
Well, I
you.
think it's proven y'all are an integral part of our community, and thank you for what you do. You guys are the unsung heroes of Gadsden in so many ways. And, you know, for the kids to hear those numbers, 62, 63 kids, I mean, that's 62 families that have struggled maybe, and now things are looking up. And you know, I'm thinking, man, if you get one, that's a home run. You've got 62. Thank you for what you do. You know, people don't know how much you care until they can see what you're doing and how much you care. I know it's not an easy job, but it's such a needed component of our city. I would imagine our police chief would nod in agreement that it's better to have them in school and going on maybe to further their education, getting job certificates at the community college as opposed to having to see him and some of his police officers in another environment. So thank you. It sure makes a lot of difference. And I always liked I've known Kevin for a while. He's the better looking brother of the Blackwell brothers.
Can I say amen to that?
There's a Keith Blackwell that runs around here that we see every now and then, but we appreciate both of you guys. Keith obviously does a great job in our school system and is a longtime friend, and we appreciate you and appreciate what you do. And thanks, Mayor, for offering to do that. I think that's a good first step, and kind of get everything on paper, and let's just see what it is, and then we can reassess from that point. So.
Question for you.
Yes, sir.
What happened at the old Gadsden High School?
Hey, that's the question you might ask my brother. He said, hey, you might want to be looking for a new building about 3 years ago. And I said, well, okay, I guess we will. So I'm not for sure what they're going to do with that.
If I understand correctly, at one point, the Board of Education, who owns that building, had some sort of contract. They were going to move manufacturing company in there that was making sports equipment or something, I think and then that deal fell apart, I think, at the 11th hour. And then, of course, now they have the Grace Academy in there, the technical school.
Grace Academy is somewhere else. It's
So pretty.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they moved.
Well, they had originally
Yeah,
planned
they
to
did
put it in
originally.
over there, didn't
That's
they?
right.
Yeah.
Would you, if you had your ruthers, would you rather move back to Old Gadsden High School if it was available? Just curious before we looked at investing money.
And either way is fine. Don't think about the old Gadsden High School. It was older, and there were issues with heating and cooling. I think that's one reason why the Board of Education was kind of like, hey, why don't you?
So is the location you're in now convenient to the children?
Oh,
and-
yeah, the location's wonderful. The building's wonderful. It's just
Okay.
space.
All right,
That's all it is.
just asking. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank y'all.
Thank you,
I
Kevin.
guess just a point of inquiry
Yes.
as well. I mean, when it comes to that old Gadsden High School building, I don't know if we will ever be in a conversation eventually about it, because the longer it sit there unused and continue to depreciate, it's going to be a problem where more than likely the city is going to be asked to put some money out for it. And so that's why I question about it, because it's been sitting there far too long unused for the amount of space it is, to where that, again, it's going to, we're going to be looking at tearing it down or something of that nature. Now, if it comes to location, then that's fine. If that's the perfect location where you are, understandable. But, you know, that's a facility there with mad space, gym unused, field in the back. I think they're using that now. So when it comes to kids letting off some energy and all that stuff, but then when it, again, space, it's only a few rooms being used out of now for alternative school or something like that, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, so it's not that bad that alternative school is over there. So, I mean, it can be maybe used some work or looked into, you know, if that's going to provide you the space that is necessary for you all to be successful in compared to adding on or doing whatever in a smaller space.
Well, I certainly think it'd be worth talking to the Board of Education. Obviously, they own the building, so, I mean, if there's some way we could work with them, if that's where you wanted to be.
Yeah, is your space at the old General Forest, is it like, do you see yourself, like, when you grow, like, say, 5 years down the road, are you gonna run out of space over there?
Well, I can't grow any more than what we are.
Because of the space, or just
of
because?
space. No, our state
Or your
coordinator,
staff?
our state coordinator said if we had more space, we could hire an extra counselor and a teacher's aide if we had the space to accommodate the number of students that we're serving. Because Gadsden's, our numbers are ridiculous. We have 142. The next closest program to us is like 63. That's Tuscaloosa. So we're above and beyond like most programs are doing.
Well, again, I speak for myself, not the entire council, but I'd certainly be willing to support, you know, if you wanted to relocate to the old Gadsden High School, and the Board of Education, again, who owns the property,
Right.
would be okay with that. I'd be happy to try to help, you know, as a council. You'd have my support if you needed some financial help to get the facility back in order.
So you're saying again, if you had the space,
Yes, sir.
you could hire another counselor and teacher, is that correct?
Well, teacher's aide.
Teacher's aide? Okay, so we'll make it a priority to work with the council, because we don't want that not to happen.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for coming today, and thank y'all for coming today. Thank you. All right, that moves to item 17, remarks by mayor and council. Mayor, you've had a full day, but would you mind starting us off?
I'm gonna go quick.
You're good.
Don't forget, I'm sure you're gonna announce Carrie's retirement today at 1 o'clock. Where is it?
Room,
In the cellar,
Where?
in the cellar, in the basement.
In the basement, okay. Don't please everyone attend. I enjoyed going to Councilman Smith's community meeting. I'm gonna try to make all of y'all's. I was out of town with Councilman Avery's. If you have one, please let our office know. We'd love to attend and support you. We're applying for $496,000 in grants from the ECCDC Commission. We've also applied, and there was an article in the paper about another community of ours trying to get a bridge in Southside. We hope they get their bridge, but we've also applied for that same grant for $5 million for Broad Street Bridge. The previous council put $3 million in the budget. We're hoping to use $5 million. We're going next week to meet with we'll call him Mayor Pete Buttigieg or whatever, Department of Transportation, his staff, to talk to him about our grant. We're trying to get $5 million. We work with Heath and try to, so we don't have to tap that money in the budget that y'all passed. So that would be good. I hear we're in good standing, hopefully. And also the Northeast Alabama Regional Council is helping us complete the grant for free, so that's good. We've identified a piece of city-owned property that would be good for this Challenger Center, I'm sorry. They are going down to meet with Finance Director Bill Poole this Thursday. I've communicated with the Finance Director, hopefully trying to get some funding from the state to help the city bring that project to our area. It's about the STEM research. I'm sure y'all are all aware of it. It's a fabulous project. Teresa Ray, Dr. Martha Lavender, Tina Gregerson, and Barry Cherry, and many others. We'll be in D.C. next week, so I'll be missing council meeting. This week, John Moore is in Montgomery at Economic Development Council seminar, so we are on the move. February 13th, the comprehensive plan will be in for a day of stakeholders meeting, so please make yourself available because they want to meet with you individually. This morning, I was actually just couldn't sleep, so I'm riding around. I went through Forest Cemetery, and I see Judy Swafford and Miss Puddin MacArthur back there, but the cemetery looks beautiful. I want to thank y'all for what you do and our city workers because we have something that we're very proud of. And today is Donna Thornton's with Gadsden Times, who started with the Messenger newspaper last day. And Donna, we want to thank you for all the coverage you've given us and being fair and all the stories that you've been able to promote Gadsden and put the story out there. So Donna, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Ford. All right, Councilwoman Latham, would you like to go next?
Just very quickly, we were fortunate to, on this past Saturday, take part in the house dedication for Ebony Pace with the Gadsden Etowah Habitat for Humanity, and just wanted to say how great that was and the partnership that the city has with the Gadsden Etowah Habitat for Humanity. That's good. So we were excited about that and what's to come with them. And wanted to say to the mayor, thank you for recognizing those individuals who hold the keys and take care of the Green Pasture Park. And say thank you to those citizens who maintain and make sure that things are well there. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Smith.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Ford. Thank you to you and your staff. The great job that you're doing. It's good to hear the buzz around the city. Thank you for coming out to the meeting on last week. I actually asked him not to come. He said, no, I'm coming anyway. I'm just coming to speak and to show up. So thank you all. Thank you to all the department heads. I want to take a minute to just speak to the Memphis situation. I never thought in my life I would ever witness anything like that. That could be worse than Rodney King's situation. And to witness that and to see that, when I use my deductive reasoning, it tells me that, everybody is not well. Even when people seem to be well, everybody is not well. And so I just want to encourage us. I don't ever want to see us incur any kind of culpability on that level ever. So if we can just make sure our brave men and women that do such a great job on a daily basis just to make sure everybody is well, I think it'll be fantastic. And if there's anything we can do as a council to assist with that, to please let us know. Ms. Moffitt's son, who's been a police officer for many years, he's also a friend of mine, and he called me actually and asked me to go on vacation. And I told him yes. And I asked him where we were going, and he said Vegas. But my wife heard him, and she said no. So I didn't get a chance to go, but the point that I'm making is, even as busy as we may be in law enforcement, I just hope and pray that we do take some time to really always get the proper treatment that we may need, if we need it, to make sure we're mentally sound, whatever we need. I just hope and pray that we're able to get it, because what we witnessed in Memphis was horrible, terrible, devastating. I'm still indignant now. We don't just get angry if it's a white on black situation, whether it's white on black, black on white, white on black, whatever it is. If it's wrong, it's just wrong. And so I wanted to take a minute just to speak to that and thank all of you here in Gadsden that do such a great job in protecting our citizens and remembering that we're all here just called to serve. to protect, honor, and to serve. I grew up in the days of Officer Friendly, and so I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Avery.
Thank you, Mr. President. To just start where Councilman Smith left off. I didn't watch because I have two sons, and I grew up being taught to about how to address situations when you're stopped, how to be the good citizen, and so on and so on. There is a system that is widely screwed up, and it must be addressed, and it must be spoken to directly. To not take this platform to do so, I'm going to say Tyree Nichols. Rest peacefully. Also, my deepest condolences go to the Ricky Smiley family, who are our connection to the loss of his son as well. Also, in the city of Gadsden, there have been quite a bit of deaths here lately. Just been going out to eat and just hearing of families losing someone of cancer and different other things that have been going on. So just condolences all over. It's just a really trying time in our city with families and losing someone of a special connection is pretty tough. I still deal with it. Some of us still deal with it, and there's a need of healing. Congratulations on a sweet note. Congratulations to Jalen Hurts, University of Alabama alumni. Roll Tide. And so we're looking forward for a nice Super Bowl win. Let's see here. In District 3, we're looking to register some sites with our state, with our historical preservation. And it's a pretty excitement around that situation. And so our district meeting will be February the 7th. We're actually moving it up this time for February to the first full week in February. So February the 7th at the Civic Center, same location. The times are the exact same. Remember, the 6 o'clock hour to 6:30 hour is for vendors. So we'll have insurance vendors and all different type of organizations, civic organizations, and so on that will be present. So come out and get some information, sign up for some organization volunteerism, volunteer opportunities, and so on. The meeting will start promptly at 6:30. We started a little early last time. We had 50 some odd people in present. That were present, so that was exciting, and the conversations are going to be deeper and more entrenched this time as it was last time. We have a community cleanup day that is scheduled for February the 18th, starting at 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., and all of the details will be laid out as we get closer to the day, as we work with Keep Etowah Beautiful and those Alabama agencies, state agencies that we worked with before. Congrats, Donna. So sorry to hear that. I didn't know that. It's been good working with you throughout the years, and be hard to fill those shoes. To speak to District 3, the liquor ordinance that we passed for the particular business, and as it was stated, that was a recommendation from the police department or from the for non-approval. And not to get into it, but it wasn't a situation that concerned Gadsden, or it wasn't something that would keep the business from receiving their liquor license. So I did want to speak to that because I know I have been mentioned to before about a business that was once passed or ordinance that was passed that had some situations, but they was not detrimental to the operation of that business, and so that's the reason why that was done, even with the recommendation. And so you can come to the district meeting, and Chief will probably speak to that in depth instead of asking him now to do so that we can have a better clarity and understanding on why I did what I did with passing that. The last is I would like to thank the NLC for appointing me the Community and Economic Development on the Federal Advocacy Committee. It's going to be an exciting opportunity to work and serve, to learn, and to bring some things back to District 3 and the city of Gadsden. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Avery. Councilman Wilson.
Yeah, some really good news that I'm pretty sure most of you guys probably don't know yet. This is a real heart warmer. Some of you guys are probably familiar with the Beautiful Rainbow program that's part of the Gadsden City School Systems that's focused on folks with special needs. And they have an operation at the Gadsden Public Library, and it is focused on giving these students some soft skills and some technical skills in the culinary world to allow them to transition out of high school into a full-time career, hopefully, after they exit the program at the Gadsden City Schools. So also, some of you may know that I'm really involved at Auburn University, Tina, and I serve on the Culinary and Hospitality Advisory Board there. And Auburn has a program called the Eagles Program, which is specifically focused on students with special needs who look to extend their educational path beyond the K through 12 experience. Well, we have a young man in the Beautiful Rainbow program here in Gadsden named Chris Underwood. He applied for this Eagles program several weeks ago. Over 90 people applied for this, and there's 8 positions. Okay, 90 students from all over the country. There are only 3 students that actually applied from the state of Alabama. The rest of them were from New York, Massachusetts, Chicago, Illinois, LA, all over the country, literally. So he got selected as one of the 16 finalists and had to record a video about his day-to-day life, and then they called him down for a face-to-face interview. And he got the news yesterday that he was accepted into the program. And not only was he accepted in the program, they rank the top 8, and he was the #1 candidate out of 90.
Wow.
So,
There's our next resolution.
absolutely. Well, I was going to ask if you wouldn't mind putting that on the proclamation list, Mayor. I would love to have his family and, of course, all the people that surround him that deserve the credit for what he's been able to accomplish. Chip Rowan with the Beautiful Rainbow program, Miss Sharon Menez, who heads up the special education program at Gadsden City Schools, and, of course, Superintendent Reddick, who supported that program the whole time he's been there. I mean, it's just a wonderful story, y'all, to see. I remember talking to Chip Rowan about this Beautiful Rainbow program probably 10 years ago, and it was a few of us local restaurateurs giving him a few bucks to build some raised beds at the middle school, and it has grown into this nationally recognized, award-winning program. They received an award from the governor for excellence in work-based training program, the top work-based training program in the state of Alabama for K through 12 programs. And then to come all the way to be able to have a student that's going to continue his career at Auburn University. And this isn't some weekend summer gig, y'all. He is going to move to Auburn. He will live in a dorm. He will be expected to navigate his way around that campus with public transportation and also the real world part of it. And I may be coming back to you guys. The tuition is $15,000. That does not include room and board or his books. Now, luckily, because of how well he performed in the interview, he will be the recipient of several scholarships, but there may be some financial need, and several of us have stepped up and committed to cover those costs if he's not able to cover them with scholarships. I just can't tell y'all how proud I am of this kid. Everybody everybody in that program was that applied were from affluent families. They were there with multiple family members, staying at the Auburn University Hotel and Conference Center, this big fancy hotel. And Chris, who comes from a very modest family, went down there and wiped the floor with them. So congratulations, Chris.
Amen. Good job. Councilwoman Minatra, good luck on that.
How do you follow that?
Yeah.
Whoa. Well, I'm excited, just to go along with our love of football, that tomorrow some of my fellow council members will be going to Gadsden City High School for signing day. So we're excited. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Robinson?
Yes, just another positive day of city council and city government.
That's right.
Just want to say, I think it's, January 31st? We've been at it about 3 months now, and I don't think there's been a Tuesday yet where we haven't done something that stepped forward. Just appreciate all y'all and enjoying the time. Thank y'all.
So true. Thank you very much. Well, thank you, everybody, for your this kind attention. It's been a while. I just want to mention Carrie Payne again. Carrie, thank you. 34 years of service to the city of Gadsden. Your retirement luncheon is at 1 o'clock, and it's in room 201. Okay, if you go to 301, there won't be any tea and crumpets. So 201 at 1 o'clock. And Donna, thank you so much. What a great career, and you've been a good friend to all of us. Thank you, and Godspeed to you. We wish you all the luck in your next chapter, and don't forget 90 Broad Street. We're right here. Okay, we'll be cheering for you. Thanks again to the SPAN folks. Thank you guys. I mean, y'all are, talk about needing a billboard. We need to get the 5 of y'all up on a billboard, Mayor. We need to just, y'all are excellent. You're really what Gadsden stands for, and thank you for what you do, and I truly mean that you are a difference maker in many, many lives that, only probably the Lord really knows what's going to be the result of your hard work. Obviously, we see some of it, but there's no telling the great work that y'all have done. Thanks, Kevin. Also want to congratulate my fellow council member, Councilman Avery, on being appointed to the National League of Cities Committee. I was reappointed to the Information Technology and Communications Committee. So I served on that committee last year, and I look forward to serving again with my friends from all across the country on that committee. And last but not least, we had Councilman Avery alluded to death and sickness and things in Gadsden. It seems like I go to more funerals today than I've been to in a long time, but a good friend passed away yesterday whose company had done a lot of work for the city of Gadsden and also just in Gadsden in general for many decades. Tim Hudak passed away recently, and his funeral was yesterday. And I had a brother the same age as Tim. My brother passed away in May, and then Tim passed away just a few days ago, and they were very close friends. So we were was commenting to the family that I think my brother and Tim are probably having fun right now up in heaven, probably getting in a little bit of trouble maybe because they both like to have fun. But good guy, Tim Hudak, and we just want to ask you to remember his family. And then also the Newman family that was here earlier today. Mayor, thank you for that proclamation for their family. Dr. Lucian Newman Jr. was just an icon among icons in our community. And I told his grandson this the other day. I said, I really don't think I've ever met a finer man than Lucian Newman Jr. He was who he was, 24/7, just a great, great guy. And Gadsden's a little bit lighter community since he's not with us anymore. So thank you again for your attention, and if that's all, we will be dismissed.